school. Now, I know not a single one of us in here, me included, wants to be back there, but I encourage you to be pulled back into a time of class field trips. My school, as I'm sure many of yours would do various trips to various centers, museums, and inevitably we would end up in an art museum that looked shockingly similar to this. We would see those harsh concrete floors, the glaring white walls, and the art would be culminations of abstract geometric shapes, your beautiful aesthetic rolling landscape, and portraits of individuals who seemed a bit too typical to be in an art museum. That is, until I began to discover the work of artists like Frida Kahlo. When we're in these art museums, it's easy to forget about the artist behind the art. It's easy to forget about the flaws and imperfections of reality when all we're seeing is glimpses at the attempted reality of perfection and beauty. Frida Kahlo, the painter of the wounded deer as seen above, does quite the opposite. She highlights his imperfections and flaws, holding the ugliness of life to the same standards that she does aesthetic beauty, showing reality as what it is. Over the next few minutes, I want to take you on a tour of the Museum of the Life of Frida Kahlo, showing for you how she demonstrates authentic leadership traits of perseverance, intentionality, deliberation, and empowerment. Harvard Business Review states that the journey to becoming an authentic leader starts with understanding your own journey. And boy, oh boy, did Frida Kahlo understand her own journey. She faced challenges from a young age. She formed complex relationships with her family and peers because of stubborn, confident, nonconformist beliefs. She was born to a second-generation immigrant family, and she was left with a permanent debilitation of her right foot after being stricken with polio at the young age of 6. She wasn't introduced into the world of artistic expression until the age of 18, when she was bedridden for 3 months because of a near-fatal bus accident. It was during these 3 months that Frida was able to be introduced to the world of art from her photographer father, well-renowned for capturing reality as it is. From this lens, Frida was able to craft her image as an artist and as a leader by capturing reality and all of its flaws, all of its beauty, imperfections, and perfections. She assumes art from a photographic approach, capturing everything about reality to show reality as it is. She eventually married Diego Rivera, a fellow Mexican artist, touring with him from Mexico to New York City to LA, everywhere that she could with him to tour both of their arts and get well-renowned fame. Ultimately, this marriage was riddled with affairs, divorce, reconciliation, remarriage, and repeat, as the last part of her life was characterized by abortions, miscarriages, and she ultimately died early of a pulmonary embolism at the young age of 47. You see, while Kahlo faced numerous challenges, conflicts, and barriers to a successful life as an influential leader, her short life did not hinder her ability to influence millions, impacting everybody around her by immortalizing her beliefs in her work, showing the authentic leadership trait of perseverance and intentionality. You see, Kahlo was playful. She was confident, she was intentional, and at times a bit stubborn. She joined the political realm at a young age, helping her university gain autonomy and fighting for educational rights for her and her peers that they deserve. As you can see by the 2 images above, Frida captures the beauty. You can see the flowers, the color, the nature in the background. However, you can also see the juxtaposition of stoic expressions of unemotion. The necklaces of thorns as blood drips down her neck, the animals about to pounce, and the bleak skies in the background. You see, Frida Kahlo captures reality as it is. She captures the bleak along with the beauty. She captures the imperfections with the perfections. Phyllis Tubman from the Smithsonian Magazine classifies Kahlo's work as intensely personal. In addition to this, Kahlo also classifies her work with an intentional demonstration of her split identity. As you can see by the 2 colors above, Frida is not only connected via heart, but also by hand, as she is figuratively and literally connected by her 2 foundations, her Tijuana Foundation and Chicana Foundation. As one holds the scissors, one holds the spool, the 2 are connected via hand and heart to show the culmination of 2 foundations into one holistic identity of who Frida Kahlo is and how she represented herself and influenced everyone around her. As Kahlo continued constructing her image as a leader, she reached outside of the artistic world into the political realm by joining the Communist Party at a young age. She faced backlash from her family, friends, peers, and spouse as she fought for feminist activism, stood up for her Chicana identity, and stood up for LGBTQ rights, fighting for nonconformist views that many people saw as atypical or nonconformist during the time. She verbalized and publicized every one of her views and her values, showing the authentic leadership traits of both deliberation and empowerment. See, Kahlo empowered millions. She fought for the underrepresented, overcame challenges, and influenced everybody she came into contact with, both pre- and post-death, with her works. However, she did all this without a filter. She didn't do this by showcasing the beauty and the aestheticism and perfection of what reality could be. However, she does quite the opposite. She does this by showcasing the imperfections, the flaws, everything wrong with reality to show exactly what reality is and how she can influence those around her. She publicizes and verbalizes every one of these flaws, showing realism in her art and her image. So flash forward with me. when you are inevitably back up in this museum and you see those harsh concrete floors and those glaring white walls, I encourage you to scrutinize the art. I encourage you to look closer, to look for the flaws, the imperfections, everything that makes reality, reality. I urge for you to look for the artist behind the art, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to find someone who demonstrates authentic leadership traits of perseverance, intentionality, deliberation, and empowerment, as did the leader of Frida, Kahlo.